Hey buddies, SumNutSky here. Hope you're having an awesome day so far. And in this video, we've got something a little more interesting than the last few mod reviews we've done. It's something called Epic Loot. It's a mod for Valheim, which turns Valheim or adds features to Valheim to make it more like a RPG game with varying loot tiers, you know, common, rare, epic, legendary, something like a Diablo or a World of Warcraft or whatever the case may be, adds an extra layer of RPG elements to the game which doesn't exist in there previously or otherwise. It's really cool, actually. It's really in-depth. The installation of it is slightly different from other mods, so I'm going to show you how to do that as well, because it is ever so slightly different. In fact, we may as well start with that. So if you want to install the Epic Loot mod, what you need to do is obviously go to the website as per usual. You've got your Epic Loot mod. This also requires the Extended Item Data Framework. So if you were to go to Files and go to download that, it will say it requires that, so you're going to need to download that as well. So you download this the same that you download other mods. Download it via the manual download here. You also download this via the manual download here. Now, once you've got both of those, I've got mine in a folder here. We're going to extract the Epic Loot, and we're going to extract that here. Most of this stuff is pointless. You delete these. This files folder is going to go in the same place as the normal .dll file. So we can also extract our extended data framework here, delete the others. All we need is that DLL. So we can take the files folder and the extended item data framework. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop those into our Valheim folder. So finding our Valheim folder from Steam, manage, browse local files, go to your BepInEx, go to your plugins. Cool. Now, this Epic Loot folder does not exist previously. So what you're going to want to do is go new, folder, create folder, and name it Epic Loot, capital E, capital L, no spaces, and drag this files folder in here. And then you're good to go. Other than that, you obviously just need to drag and drop the extended item data framework.dll into this plugins here as well. Don't put it in the Epic Loot folder, put it in the normal place here. This is the only one that needs that extra little step there, if that makes sense. So now that you know how to install that, what does it do? What does it do? Well, it's actually really, really cool. It adds item drops to mobs of varying rarity. So what we're going to do is we're going to spawn ourselves 100 goblins. We're going to need to do that the other way around. Goblins 100. Yeah, of course, spawn a goblin 100, silly me. And we're just going to use our kill command to kill all of these and see what loot they drop for us. Lovely, we got ourselves some purples, a yellow. So let's pick these up and see what we got. Let's drop these other items. I also have a ridiculously large player inventory, which I don't need to have that big at all. That was just for testing purposes. Cool. So we have a Caustic Sever, which is the name of this epic silver sword. It gives them cool names as well. This item is indestructible. It attacks, deal poison damage, and it has its weight reduced by 80% because it is an epic variant of the silver sword. Giant Impaler is the name of this one. Adds 14 slashing damage. It's indestructible. It's completely weightless. Vithar Aegis. I've never known how to pronounce that word. Reduced block stamina used by 14%, weight reduced by 75%, gain fire resistance. So as you can see, there's a lot of different elements that this game adds to it, and the different types of creatures you kill will spawn different types of items, different rarities of items. So we spawn 100 Grey Dwarves. Let's kill them all off, and we got ourselves some blues. Lovely. So these blues are lower tier. Obviously, these are what's called magic or common. Max durability increased by 70%, and it's weightless. It's a torch. We got an awesome torch. +2 lightning damage. So our torch now does lightning damage. Brilliant. These are a bunch of the different items that you can add, or that are added by this mod. It's really cool. It adds such an extra in-depth layer. But it also has crafting elements to it as well. So you see all these resources on the side here. These are all magical resources that have been added to the game that you can use to imbue your weapons and armor with additional properties, additional strength and value. Now, I haven't done a huge amount of testing with it, but it does seem really cool. So we're going to have a quick look over here. I know it's getting dark, so excuse me. We're going to go inside where we have a fire anyway. So Oh, and here, let's get rid of our flying. We are in here now, and we're not really have the space for this, but we're going to craft ourselves an enchanter and an augmenter. What we're going to see when we do that is that this forge is going to get some extra tabs here. So let's plop these down. It's going to be awkward space-wise because I didn't make a space specifically for this, and these do need a little bit of additional space. Needs more space. There we go. Perfect. I'm going to place this one about here. Lovely. These do have the normal, you see the orange little particles going to the forge telling you whether it's working or not. It does not upgrade the level. It just adds these tabs to it. So the sacrifice tab, we can sacrifice our magic items that are given to us by Epic Loot. We can sacrifice these to gain crafting materials. These crafting materials are dependent on the level of the item, of course. You can see by the colors, they match. Fairly self-explanatory there. We're getting these crafting resources. Now, once we've got these crafting resources, we can then enchant or augment existing gear. We can choose what we want to add. This will tell us, what it costs, and we can choose rarity of what we're crafting. So if imagine we had our Draugr Fang, we wanted to make a legendary Draugr Fang bow. There's an 80% chance of 4 effects, an 18% chance of 5 effects, and a 2% chance of 6 effects. So you can enchant this a number of times, hoping to get the best bow possible and really grind out for the best gear, which I think is really, really cool. And you can also augment your existing magical gear. So I've got this epic sword here. I could augment this with additional stats if I wanted to. So what we're going to do is we're just going to spawn some additional magic mats. Is the command for that. So this gives us a bunch of crafting resources here. Just gave us basically a max stack of all the crafting resources. So let's do a little bit of enchanting. We're going to get our Draugr Fang. We're going to legendary. Oh, we don't have the legendary rune, which is right there. Right there. Lovely. And we're going to work our way through here. Lovely. And okay, classic. So let's drop these. And forge. So we're now going to enchant our Draugr Fang bow to a legendary status. So let's see what we get. So our Draugr Fang is here. We're going to enchant it. And now we have a legendary Draugr Fang. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stats on that, which means we hit the 5 effects of 18% chance. So that's pretty lucky for our first ever enchantment. We've got to reduce attack stamina by 15%, increase 17% of piercing damage. It's weightless, movement speed penalty removed. So we can now run around with this without having any movement speed penalties, which is brilliant. We can also backstab within 20% increased damage. So as long as we're undetected and we hit a backstab, then big damage. Holy cow. So now we're going to try and augment something. Augmenting something essentially means that you're changing the current stats from one thing to another. You're not adding additional stats. You're essentially filtering to find the best stats that you want to work with each other, or whatever the case may be. So we got this Acrobat's Padded Greaves of Health, which are just rare padded greaves, and they reduce the jump stamina by 11%, and they increase our health by 20. Now, we might want to change those. So if we go to our padded greaves and we select the health increased by 20, we don't need more health, we don't feel like, so we're going to augment that. And it'll then give us a choice. Let's say we want to reduce sprint stamina by 13% for whatever reason. We can now hover over this and we've got reduced jump stamina and we've got reduced sprint stamina. Maybe we're going to use this armor for long distance running. Maybe this armor is specifically intended for traveling from one place to another for whatever reason. So we want to have jump and stamina reductions. We can then go back over here. Now, if we don't like our reroll, we can augment it again. And we can re-roll for other stats, but it does seem, from what I can tell so far, it does seem like you can only augment one stat per armor, per piece of armor. Now, I'm not entirely sure if there's a way to start augmenting everything on it. Perhaps if we just back out and go back in, see, it has selected, it keeps this selected. I can't unselect this, meaning I can't then modify this as well. So bear in mind, you can only augment one stat within that piece of armor. So say here we're going to augment this to reduce the attack stamina used by 15%. Don't really care too much about that. So we want to reduce attack stamina by 18%. There we go. There's an increase there. Happy days. But we're now not going to be able to change any of the additional stats on that as well. And that's essentially how this mod works, guys, with regards to the new crafting stuff, with regards to all the items and the crafting materials. If I've missed anything out that you guys are aware of with this mod, please leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those in the comments below as well. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, consider subscribing. I stream 5 days a week, every single day except Monday and Friday, over on twitch.tv/SomeNutsGuy, and I go live at 1 o'clock UK time every single day that I go live. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, have a good one, see you in the next one. Bye.